Hi there. Welcome to the Kel-n-Rich Show. My name is Kel, and this is my awesome husband, Rich.
Oh, thanks so much for being here, you guys. Welcome.
Today we're going to spend a little time answering some of your questions. We have a few features on our website where you can actually make a request at the request engine, or you can drop some lyrics in if there are lyrics that are meaningful to you. And we have a section right now called Ask Kel-n-Rich. It's anything that you want to ask us at all. Just know that if you do ask us a question, we're going to put it on the air.
Mm-hmm.
The website is knr.wtfno.com.
Yeah, and the questions can really range. We've had questions about relationship, about how do I find that special person. You guys seem to have some really great chemistry. How do I find that metal chick or that metal guy or that soulmate? Questions about health, questions about some serious family issues or relationship issues that you're dealing with that you're just looking for a little bit of kind of a little guidance or a little bit of perspective. Some strangers telling you maybe something that you haven't seen, something in your blind spot. It can range all over. Ask about us, where we're from, what we do, how we do it, why we do it. Okay, this is Ask Kel-n-Rich. This is purely your time to ask us questions. We're already getting the questions all day long, so we figured let's answer some of them and all share it together. So some of your questions have really, really stimulated some great conversation for us personally off camera.
Just please keep your requests to the request engine. So don't use the Ask Kel-n-Rich to make a suggestion, because the request engine is a database and it's tracking all of the requests. So if there's any requests put through the Ask Kel-n-Rich form, we won't do them.
Don't even mention any song titles. Or if you can say, you can pull a little end around, I guess, and say, so the song Sweet Lovin' Woman from ELO, how does it really affect you? Well, okay, but we're not. That doesn't mean that we're going to listen to it and then answer your question. Okay, we're just really trying to keep things separate here, and we don't want the Ask Kel-n-Rich form kind of gummed up with a whole bunch of requests, especially paragraphs like this long, and then at the end, so will you play? And there's no question. It's just a request for music. Don't do it.
Yeah, it's just easier for us to track all that in the request engine.
We know who you are. Don't do it. All right, here we go. Kel.
Yes.
The first one comes from.
And we just want to.
Ready.
Sorry to interrupt you. We just want to say that it's not all negative, doom and gloom. It's nothing like that. There's questions about what our favorite movie is, so
yeah, it
it's
could just
all
be
over
mundane questions. If you just want
Yeah.
to know a little about us and have some fun like that, go for it. We're going to read all of them. So Rusty Robbins, Paul Warwick, Chris Eversole, Phil, Tony Allen, Peter Glynn, Jason. I'm going to try to get to yours. Would love some answers on how to help my brothers that's on some serious prescription drugs. This is from Rusty Robbins.
Hi, Rusty.
Oh, for his pain dealing with post-Desert Storm injuries. We worry about him so much. He has turned into a hermit, and he just stays blown away all the time. Thanks. I'll just answer this one, Kel. I have a great deal of experience and a great deal of knowledge working with men. I've been doing it for 26 years. Every week, multiple times a day, I'm in communication with men, young men, all over the world, and I'm a coach. I'm not a professional counselor. None of this advice is to be taken as professional counseling or guidance or legal advice. But in this case, it's going to be, there'll be a couple of prongs for his wellness. And the first one is that he really needs to have some good men in his life. That is absolutely key. Not to disclude women at all. Yeah. It's just that there's a men's room and there's a woman's room, and then we come together and we share the third point, which is relationship, which could be a scary place for a lot of people. And in this case, I think, since you say that he's a hermit, he's really having a hard time reintegrating into social constructs here versus over there. And that's a very common, unfortunate result of being stationed overseas, or you go into a different culture, different environment, different context, especially something like war. And he needs to first have good men in his life. And I have an actual outlet. It's a free outlet, 100% free outlet. It's a conversation with men where we talk about work, health, money, relationship, and identity. And he's struggling. The second prong is identity, who he is. He needs to reestablish who he is. And that could just be a friendly voice, just to say, hey, how's it going? So, and just get into some conversation about his day. But someone that he has a little bit of connection to. Is there anybody that he does that can start kind of just going, hey, man, how's it going? Without, I'm going to drag you to a therapy group or a war veterans recovery, group. So those are the two things to definitely start with is an outreach for men in his life. Okay, that's really key. Similar, those men that have had similar situations, other war vets. And the second thing is to have someone in his life not connected to that part, just knock on his door. Just knock on his door and just engage conversation. What do you think, Kel?
I think those are all really amazing suggestions, and I have one. Now I'm asking all of you on the channel, all the vets, doesn't matter what gender you are, now's your time. So we've been saying that this Ask Kel-n-Rich is not just about Kel-n-Rich. Now here's where we need you. We need you to help Rusty and his brother, because you know things that we don't know. You have resources that we don't know exist. Now's an opportunity for you to come in and let Rusty know if you... I don't even know what you can do, but I know that you're out there, and I know that you're so special, all of you, and that the role you play in each other's lives after you come home is more important, arguably, than the role you played while you were there. So I know there's so many of you that are listening and watching, and if you could help Rusty, that would be great too, because where is he?
Oh, so Rusty Robbins,
he's in Florida.
Eagle Lake, Florida.
Oh,
fantastic.
Hey.
Eagle Lake. Yeah, that's
fantastic.
3 hours.
So anybody out there?
So specifically the whole prescription drugs thing, I purposely didn't enter into that because that's an addiction situation, substance addiction situation, and he's got probably a dual diagnosis where he's addicted, but he also has a mental health issue. So that's a dual diagnosis. So when you go down that road, that's a pretty specific treatment center. But in terms of the prescription drugs, if he has access to them and he's alone, that's beyond certainly my scope to offer advice, because again, it is a dual diagnosis, and he needs to get help managing that. So I'm sorry I can't be specific with that, but to get people in his life is this place that I would start from. And please, you're listening to this, everybody else, give Rusty some suggestions, give him some links. He's in Eagle Lake, Florida. Let's reach out.
And you don't have to be a vet to be helpful.
100%. Anybody. Any voice can make the biggest difference.
This is an opportunity for all of us to come together.
All right. Bless you, Rusty, and,
yes,
and your family and your brother. And hopefully you show this to your brother.
Yeah.
Any way possible. Okay?
And Rusty, when you do show this to your brother, I just have a message for him. You matter. And there's so many people out here waiting to help you. And you're not in it alone. And there's so many great vets on this channel, and they're wonderful and they're loving, and they'll reach out to you if you want them to.
Yeah, and get them to see the video we did, Wrong Side of Heaven. Get them to see some Five Finger Death Punch, regardless of... Ooh, we're going to pause.
Sneezing on the truth. That's the second time.
All right, cool. Thanks, Rusty, again.
You.
And... we're pulling for you guys.
Excuse me.
I couldn't save that one, Kel.
It's okay.
Remember me? I'm the loogie guy. All right. So Paul Warwick, we're not going to go there because you did a song request, but thank you very much.
Thanks for the request.
Chris Eversole.
Into the request engine, please.
Chris Eversole, male 34 from Nevada. It's hot there. If you guys could only have 3 albums on a stranded island, what would they be?
Oh, jeez.
You'll think about it. I'm gonna say, oh my God, only 3 albums. I'm gonna say David Gilmour on an island.
Oh, interesting.
Oh my God, can you think of one? Let's go back and forth.
No.
Yeah.
No, but I know what I will exchange for the.
I'm gonna think what Kel would bring.
Oh no, baby, you don't forfeit. You do what you want. But thank you, you're so my hero.
I'm going through my entire music catalog and just grabbing 3 on the boat.
That's a tough question.
I'm gonna get back to you on this one. You know what? It's gonna be a lot of Floyd at this point in my mind, because probably Scenes from a Memory, Dream Theater, Metropolis, on a desert island. That's a long time. That's a lot of music to fill. That's a lot of repeat on the CD player. Those are the 2 that I can think of right now. You know what? Probably Pink Floyd Animals. At this point, it's just because I'm just looking at this question for the first time. So let's move on, Kel.
I don't rank things because there's so much great music out there for me to explore. It's impossible for me to rank stuff. It's all too wonderful.
We'll speak off camera about this, and then she'll come up with 3.
No, because here I need to make a trade. I will trade all the CDs in the world and the CD player solar powered for a solar powered digital baby grand piano that has an endless resource of songs, tracks, voices,
That's a good answer.
Effects, and then we can make music on the island.
That's a
if that's
you know
okay.
what? Winner. I like that.
Because there's
it's completely
3
it's completely doing a Captain Kirk and the Kobayashi Maru test, though. I mean, you just totally like pulled an end around, and you know what? There was no room on the boat for the electrical piano. There was just you're wearing a knapsack when this happened, so you didn't have your piano.
I will drown with it. I will. I'll put it in the dinghy and tow it, man.
Death by
I'll sit on a rock.
Digital piano dinghy style. I'm going down with my music, man. It's terrible. All right, that was just a pitiful
That was a great question.
display of ability to bring up 3 albums, but right now I just need to think about this one for a little bit longer. I can't really do that one live, but I will. I promise. We promise. We
what
promise,
do all
Chris.
of you say?
Okay, Phil, male, 28 years old, from Miami.
Hi, Phil.
Okay, that's all of music question. Nice try. Go to the request engine. Tony Allen, 59 from
Hi,
Grand
Tony.
Prairie, Texas. How can you all be so great at this YouTube channel thing so fast? I'm loving it. You two are fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks for saying that we're great. Do you have something to start with? I don't want to always start.
Yeah. Thank you for your question and your wonderful comments. It's always so humbling when we read stuff like that. So, thank you. We have been turning on the camera for each other long before this YouTube channel began.
Mm-hmm.
So we've mentioned it before. We merged our businesses in 2012 upon the advice of a common friend and mentor. We didn't actually know each other, so we began to get to know each other and become friends over the years. And one of the things that I brought to the table was part of my training business and rehabilitation and massage business was posture, because I was working with so many older people, so I have a specialty in that. And so I mentioned it to him, and he was like, well, let's do a posture video and let's throw it up on YouTube and see what happens. So we did that, And it was very short and it was very raw. But what we realized is that we had an ability to turn on the camera together and just go. And
it's like a continuation. It's a continuation of the conversation that we always have. I don't want to interrupt you. You have more thoughts with that.
Just that we have, thank you. Mm-hmm. Just that we have been turning the camera on for silly things the whole time we were friends. And then when we began to be a couple and in a relationship, which was a beautiful surprise and a gift, we just got more silly. Yeah. And so we have some pretty silly stuff that is, it's pretty funny.
We started, it's the answer to your question is practice. Yeah. But it wasn't practice similar to what my son Jared, he had the Flying V guitar, he passed away about 8 months ago, and the channel's dedicated to him, the First Reaction channel. And Horace is back, by the way.
Yes.
Did you notice Horace is back?
Our little rabbit.
Yeah, we pulled him out from the other side of the house. He's no longer monitoring that side of the house.
Yeah, right.
So if something happens, it's your fault. You know who you are. He carries
a little lantern. And
it's a little lantern. Yeah, it's Horace.
He's adorable.
So we practiced, but without having to practice, and that's what Jared did. He never had to practice. He just loved playing. Yeah. So we loved turning the camera on, and we had a Facebook. It was Rich and Kel or Richard and Kelly, mm-hmm. and that was basically merging 2 Facebook pages, and we would post videos of all sorts of stuff.
Things.
And we had anywhere between like 500 and 1,000 views per video, and so we got kind of good at it. We just had fun. So this is a natural desire and hobby, and we take it from that place. We don't take it from it being a business at all. Mm-hmm. And that's why Patreon kind of freaked us out a little bit. We took the advice of people, and they meant well, and it was all good, and we learned a lot. But this is not a business. Yeah. We do this because we want to do it. And if we get sponsorship because of that, aces. If people want to give us money to produce our show, freaking bring it on. We're totally open to it. And we actually have a couple of sponsors at this point that like to remain nameless. But it doesn't pay for us to do this full time. But at the same time, it gives us a great joy knowing that our work is valued. So there you go.
And we are both in the classification of helping personalities. So we like to help, and we want to bring joy and love and light into people's lives. And this is a great platform for doing that.
Fantastic. It's better than one-on-one. One-on-one is great, but we've built a whole career doing one-on-one or group classes, things like that. So this is a really big room that we're speaking to. We're talking a big room, and we get off on that, right? Because it's like, how many people are going to see this? And then they talk to each other, and then it brings it over here, and then we can just kind of watch that cruise line just take off, and then we're off on another cruise. And then everyone's kind of partying and jamming out and swimming and diving and getting drunk and falling into the pool and eating endless peel and eat shrimp and whatever else you people do on cruises.
I don't know. I've never been on one.
Yeah. No boats for us. No boats. Peter Glenn. Please note Peter Glenn from England, 7 years old. Please review Highway to Spain by Magna Carta. No. We're not even hearing that.
Put it in the request engine, please.
Jason, 49 years old from Utah.
Hi, Jason.
When I look for... That's another music request.
Okay, next page.
All right. Come on. Sorry for the clicks, guys. We're on the Mac. We resurrected it to do this job. It can't produce any sort of YouTube videos or anything like that.
No.
It's so slow. Come on, baby.
I wonder what the connection...
Stand by. Kel.
Yeah.
Sing a song.
No singing early this morning. I didn't do my vocal warm-ups. We seem to be having an internet problem, which is where all of your questions are coming from. So I don't know what to say.
What the heck?
It seems fine.
No, it's not.
No, it's on the wrong server. There we go. Got it.
All right.
I should have sang do do do.
Well, that's good, or do something. Just don't state the
Our
obvious that we're having
website-
technical problems.
Well, we're allowed to have technical problems.
We are. We totally
We've had
are.
more technical problems since we started all this than I had in my
That's the
entire
other thing
life.
why we're good at this.
Oh my God.
Perseverance.
And being okay to be wrong.
There we go.
Okay, there we are. Yay.
All right, so it's from the bottom, Kel?
It is.
Okay. Can you change the format of how you react to videos? This is from Chris Gonzalez, 49 years old in St. Louis. Add a
Hi,
link
Chris.
to find sheet music. Add a link to find sheet music. Becomes educational. Don't play the song. Say something like, this is the song, and then have an open discussion about it with your subscribers. You tackle that one. That would be another feature. We wouldn't change it altogether, but...
So here's the immediate thoughts. One, I love the idea. I think it's great. Anytime we can provide great value for all of you is wonderful. As a musician, I will tell you that no one should be buying sheet music from me. I'm the only one who should be picking out my music. So when I think about that, there's so many versions of music out there now. I looked at, we'll take Riders on the Storm. So when I get a piano at some point, I went through my music collection the other day and I got rid of a bunch of music from the past to replace with music for the future. Out of Riders of the Storm, of which there were 12 versions to choose from, I selected the one that was most appropriate for my musicality and my proficiency and my ability. So
He's saying a link, though.
right, but the problem is that to link to free music, I think that if we were to do that, you'd have to provide the link to the free music because there's so much to choose from. Is it just piano? Is it vocals? Is it guitar? Is it the whole orchestra? Is it the beginner level 1 version? Is it an advanced version? Is it a professional version? There's some people who want to see the scores. There's some people who want to play them. I think it's a great idea. I just think it needs a discussion and some help from everybody. And a lot of the times we have to pay for music, so it would have to be free. So I think it's a good idea. I just am not sure what we could do with it or how we could do with it. But if you want to throw a sheet music link into your request into the request engine, sure, I think we can throw.
Yeah,
a link
we're not
up.
saying that we're going to do this, but if you want to do it,
But
we'll print it out. We'll think about it. We'll try it, and we'll consider it.
Yeah, and then maybe it's a scrolling music link where the music I've seen
Yeah.
that where the score scrolls. That would be cool.
Great. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks so much. Good thought.
Jim Korolewski, 60 years old from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi, Jim. That's another request. Sorry, put it in the request engine, man.
Keith Whelans. Hey, you just commented
Keith.
this morning. A really sweet comment. We really appreciate that. 53 from Durham, UK.
Yes.
Rich, you still must have vinyl or CDs. Are they locked away? Can't Kel get to them? They're right over here. You can't see them. They're in a big kind of, what is that, a stool tote kind of thing?
Yeah,
where
it's
it has
an
a cover on
ottoman.
it. So a lot of them I gave to Jared and Annika, my kids. And the ones that I really wanted to keep are here. Pretty much everything is on MP3. I do have some records, but again, I've given them most away to people in my family or other people as I was converting over, just because that's what was going on. And I'm not a collector as they say. I like to keep things pretty streamlined. So when MP3 came out in digital, I was all over that.
And truth be told, we have no CD player.
We don't even have a CD player.
We don't even have a TV. We have a projector that projects our movies onto the wall. So we have an 11 by 9 screen. So we have an in-home theater, but no CD player comes with technology anymore. So we can't even play CDs that most of you and some of
Right.
you have kindly sent us. We can't even hear them.
Yeah, so the quick answer is yes, I have about 200 CDs with some odd records and even cassettes. And I'd love to get an 8-track. Well, I'm actually going to be looking for an 8-track player, and we might do our first. We might do our first reactions from the first reaction.
We have to do the Surfer Girl. It's got to be the first song.
You got it. All right, Peter Glynn, male, 70 years old from England.
Put it in the request engine, Peter. Thanks.
Andy Whitehead,
Hi, Andy.
41 years old from Germany. Oh, Wacken is just going on, and oh my
Oh,
God,
yeah.
if you guys haven't live streamed it, oh my God, fantastic. It's better every year. I've seen it a couple times, but this year the lineup is just crazy good. And the problem is that for us, it kills the first reaction, because I'll hear a song and I'll be like, oh, I can't do a first reaction. I'll be bullshit. I'll be lying. Please, love your channel, guys. Please, can you do...
Put in the request engine, please.
Robert Wells, 57,
Hi, Robert.
Stratford upon Avon, UK. Please.
Put it in the request engine, please. Thank you.
Tarmo Tyree, 6
Hi,
years old,
Tarmo.
from Finland. Given everything that you both have experienced in your lives so far, this is an easy question. What do you think is the purpose of human existence? Purpose of human existence is to live. And it's to create. And there's no judgment of that. Ultimately, the purpose of life is to let go. Absolutely let go of all attachments. And it might sound like a more slice of Buddhism or Zen, or God, pick your stream. But ultimately, when we can just be, that is the purpose of life. That is the purpose of human existence, is to just be. Very difficult in the 21st century. Oh, are we distracted? Oh, are we pulled? My goodness, we come into the world clean slated, no language. All of a sudden, in English, there's 26 letters that are put into our brain, and that's basically where it starts, where the attachment starts. And that's the first construct that we then are there. And when we can dissociate from language and from influences that pull us here, pull us there, away from who we are truly inside. I have a great shirt for this, right? Then we can truly be living and not purely just existing. To you?
Well, it's a great question. I believe that we are put on this planet to experience life. And there's no one right way. Everyone goes about it differently. I have twin cousins in my family, and they are cut from the same egg. They look identical to the rest of the world, but they were my crib mates. And I've never met two people who are more different in my entire life, but people saw them as a set, so they saw one person instead of two people. These two men have approached life completely differently, and their whole, in being twins is a whole other topic, but which we won't talk about now. But what it showed me is that even though two beings who are genetically identical are completely different. So I believe that we're given a series of lessons based on choices we make, and that there is no right or wrong, because everything builds our character. Everything that I've been through, all the terrible, awful, horrendous things, have built me into what I am today. And without all of those lessons, as hard as some of them were, I wouldn't be what I am without them. I would be, it's not better or worse, I would just be a different version of me. And so in order for me to come to a place where I can actually experience life truly and actually be who I am completely, I had to go through a series of things that led me to this point, which is the point that you see now. I mean, I swore off the piano. I swore I would never touch it again. And I would never, ever study the classics again. Simply because it's been there, done that. Got the shirt, got the hat, got the keychain, have so many pieces of music.
Got the piano.
It's had several. And now as I looked forward into my music career that's coming next, I see it with such joy and such play, and it's all so different than it was, and it's not work anymore. And I'm imagining staying up late practicing at my new piano that isn't even here, and I'm downloading music for a future that hasn't even arrived, And I'm totally excited to stay up late and go to bed late and get up early. And so I believe that because we're conscious in this particular time that we're in together, it's the time to experience life. And we have to do that by learning which way is best for us. So we go through processes of elimination to come to the best version of what we want and the best version of ourselves. And some people everyone learns at different rates. And what you would take from a life lesson is different than what I would take from a life lesson, than what you would take, because we're all supposed to be different. We're all perfectly, beautifully who we are.
There you go. And of course, the ultimate quest, the ultimate question to solve human existence is to discover the brown note. Moving on. Jen's, looks like, you want to take a shot at the last name?
Pfennig. No, Pfennig.
Pfennig.
Hi, Jens.
53 from Bremen, Germany. Very nice. Oh, you know what?
We did this.
We did. Can you please reach out? We're gonna give this some space here.
Yeah.
How are we doing for time, Kel? Good.
I have just a few minutes.
Can you please reach out to a fellow reactor on YouTube named Shadow John? He's a huge Bandmade fan and is going through some tough times. Yeah, we watched the video. Whoa, he's really down a hole and asking for help. No money, just human touch. Perfect for
Thank you so
Tarmo's
much.
last question, purpose of human existence. I believe that you and your generally positive outlook on life may be able to support him. We reached out, and we're going to be hopefully hearing from him, but hopefully this particular shout out will get hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people, whatever it takes to bring that man up from the basement.
Shadow John, if you're listening, there's people here to support you. Your subscribers love you. I read all the comments. We read them together. And there's an outpouring of love and support for you, and whatever you're going through, you did the best thing by asking for some help, which is what a lot of people just don't do. So good for you. Whatever you're going through, you're a brave man, and it's going to be okay.
Yeah. There's a saying that we have, both professionally, personally, in the men's groups that I'm associated with, the co-ed group that we are involved with on Saturday morning and during the week. It permeates through all of those groups, which is the following. We can't do a thing about a problem that we don't know about. So make the problem known, but come from a place of a smarter thinking process where you actually get to solve the problem and get the empathy and the support from the people. So both sides. But if you don't say anything about a problem that you're having, whether it's because you think you're a whiner, you're not deserving it, or you don't think you're worthy, well, that problem is just going to stay around. So if you want to make some movement, the first thing to do is uncover the problem with people that you feel close with, or a complete stranger like this platform, okay?
Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Curtis Johnson, male, 64, from Federal Way, Washington. Have either of you unwittingly
Morning,
run
Curtis.
face into an occult situation, and from there were never far from another confrontation? I was aware of something at the age of 8 and have fought or dealt with them off and on since. I know I'm not crazy, as people around me have had the misfortune to be dragged into a confrontation along with me. I'm willing to share with you the 2 incidents, but would rather keep the incidents and my name to the smallest group possible. If some person can benefit from my experiences, then feel free to, it's a little broken up, feel free to give them my name and email. I love everything that you do. Kel, can you approach that one? I was struggling just with reading it, just because of the way it came out on the translation.
Yeah, I have had some strange things happen in that realm in my life. I'm not sure I'm trying to imagine what it could be, and it could be all kinds of things. I would tell you that I believe, for me, that we as humans know far less than we think we do. and that we have far less answers about some of the stranger things that go on in the world. There are times when I have had experiences that lead you to question all kinds of things. And so if you want to talk about that with us, just send us an email at kelnrichg@gmail.com. I think there's a lot out there in our world and the worlds beyond that we know zero about.
I had two very strong situations where one was with the use of a Ouija board when I was 12. That some crazy fucking shit happened, and it was not moving the hands on the board. It was way different, and I wasn't on any drugs or any alcohol or anything like that. And I learned very quickly that there's things that are around. I feel the presence. The second was when my father just passed away. I'll share it another time, but I felt his last two heartbeats. He was in the hospital. I got there just in time. My family was around as well. I put my hand on his pulse, and I felt boom, boom, and something happened about 5 minutes later. It dealt with a flash of a blue light in the room that went out, and it was not seen just by me. Moving on now.
Yeah.
So thank you. We respect it. That's purely what it is. We identify it, we respect it, and we move on because there's a boundary and a division that people should not pass. And if you mess with it, just know that you're messing with something that you don't know about. And if you're that adventurous that you need to go down that rabbit hole, God bless you and Godspeed. This is from Brad, male, 48 years old.
Hi, Brad. Canada.
I'm sorry, I skipped one. Donald Shaw, male, 65, from Bedford, Indiana. You know what? That's just basically, there's no question there. We'll read that another time. Just because time is short, we'll come back to that one, and I'll make sure I star these.
Okay.
Brad, from BC, Canada, 48 years old.
Hi, Brad.
Now that you've been exposed to more rock metal artists, what are some of your favorite songs and artists now?
Again, I have a really hard time picking because I love them all. I'd have to say, if I make it my ringtone, which I did, Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah, so ELO, Electric Light Orchestra,
definitely a happy place for me, but
Yep.
I love symphonic metal.
Yeah, Devon for me, Devon Townsend Project. Soen, definitely. We're not going to repeat a lot. We've said this before. We've mentioned some of these bands before. But off the top of my head, Queensryche, definitely. I was not a Queensryche fan. I am now.
Love Queensryche.
Maiden, definitely.
Yes.
Going kind of deeper into things like symphonic metal, Epica, amazing.
Nightwish.
Yeah, Nightwish is good. I like Epica more. I look forward to their videos. They're both amazing. But if you wanted to say what my favorite is, Kel doesn't really do favorites.
There's too many that I've come to love. I want to hear them all. I want to put a stereo up with all of them at the same time, like 100 stereos and 100 speakers, and just blast them all at once.
Yeah, and what I realize is because I'm what she said, because I don't listen to albums anymore. I don't listen to new albums anymore because it kills it. It's a completely new musical experience for me. Like she stepped on the gas with music, and I put on the brakes.
Oh, interesting. I never thought of it like that.
Neither did I until this moment. So
that's cool.
So, Brad, thank you so much for that. I really like Spock's Beard. I like all the
UFO.
stuff. UFO, Scorpions,
Camel.
Camel,
Horse.
Wishbone Ash.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the list goes on. So, I got goosebumps.
Uriah Heep.
Oh, Uriah Heep. Holy shit. How did I miss them?
Deep Purple.
And all the Deep Purple stuff.
Cream.
The newer stuff, I would say, definitely Powerwolf.
Yes.
Beast in Black.
Yes.
Even like the Australian band Caligula's Horse.
Which is said.
We can go on and on. Let's not take too much time, but that's a good
question.
start. And we're gonna probably put our top. I think that's what we'll do. We'll put our new faves.
No, I'm not doing
I'm
that.
doing it. I'm doing it.
I can't pick. It's like ice cream. It's too much good stuff.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. Samuel, male, 20, Australia.
Hi, Sam.
Can
Thanks
you
for the
react
question.
to? Yeah, that's a request engine one.
Engine, please.
Eric looks like Rodberg, 47, from Norway. Boy, that's a great story, Eric. It looks just chunky about you,
We'll
about
get
yourself.
back to it.
I don't see a question at the end, but we'll come back to that one just because Kel has to get to work here,
I
and
do.
so do I.
Sorry, the time is short.
Ihor Yurash, parentheses
Hi.
Muscle, 21 years
Hi,
old from
Muscle.
Odessa, Ukraine.
Hi, Ukraine.
You know what? The site should be working at this point. I don't know what happened with a 2-song entry. We certainly don't see it on our lists. Everything should be good. If not, please email me at the email that Kel gave. Carl Stumpf, 51, from Oregon. Question for you both. What is your favorite movie, any genre, and what is your favorite movie moment? Okay, he gave what his is. Let's just do this, and then we're going to have to end the video, and we'll come back with Jack Addisman, Eric, Jim, Giacumis,
Very good.
you know, Christopher Allen Gonzalez, and Ricky Riggs. We're going to come back with you guys. Favorite moment, probably one of them is in Pulp Fiction when Vincent and Jules are talking about foot massages. I don't think I laughed harder at any moment in a movie. I've watched Pulp Fiction probably 200 times. It's just one of those things where it's so juxtaposed. You got these two gangsters that are ready to just kill, and they're talking about foot massages, and they're just being so philosophical, and it raises it to the next level. Probably also moments, pretty much all of Princess Bride. Just, you know, again, we have a lot of favorite movies. I'm going to end there, Kel.
I didn't watch a lot of movies growing up because I didn't watch a lot of TV and I didn't really sit still much. I had lots to do. So we're making up for it here.
We've watched a lot of movies, though. So if you
Yeah.
have any recent favorites, because we've been watching movies the last 2-3 years on our dark web box.
I can't pick favorites because I have so many, but I do love Jim Carrey. And one of my most favorite scenes was in Pet Detective, and he was the football. With
My
the,
God,
with
yeah.
the
So he's in the
ballerina
mental
tutu.
when he's getting information in the mental health ward.
Coach, ready to go. Clunk. You know.
Now let's see that in an instant replay. Brilliance, absolute brilliance. Also, the court scene in True Lies, where Liar, True Lies. That's the freaking Arnold movie, where he's having to beat himself up and he's hitting himself with the toilet seat, and basically the guy comes in. What are you looking at? I'm kicking my own ass. You know, just brilliance. It's silly.
Yeah.
Someone asked us what makes us so happy. Well, watching stuff like that and living life. Yeah, I can get all highbrow and tell you what my favorite movies are from all the intellectually based movies. But right now I'm with Kel and we're doing this. My brain's not there. All right, let's go, Kel.
Lots of great movies. Love them. And
Thank you
Avatar.
Thank you for your questions.
Thank you for your questions.
We'll probably have a whole
An
segment.
August rush.
Well, we got to stop now.
Okay, done.
More
Thank you for your
soon, but
question.
we'll do a whole segment on our movies, okay?
Yeah.
Because I think it deserves some attention, and it certainly is fun. So keep the questions coming, keep the requests coming, keep the
Thanks for
keep
being
keep
here.
keep the fun going, and we'll speak to you real soon.
Okay, bye.
Later, I gotta get the right mouse.
All right,
Bye.
see ya.